matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, the tundra may not quite be frozen, but it's getting there as we work our way through December. The radar today, however, is clear at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Watch the pass.
He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on first. So likely a 3-and-out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of. And the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They've got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Ready? 50, play. Here we go. Ready?
On 1st down, Carmichael. And Diggs has it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 28 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Here we go, set, 18, Gator.
From from the red zone now. They'll look to throw, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Down. 70. Indy. 5.
From the gun, Carmichael. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
6-6. Pull it high.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL are saying, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Go! 60
Off play action. Carmichael. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on him.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Now a first down carry by Jones. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 38.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know you thought saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And the grab by Croft. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at a nice little drive brewing right here.
Let's go one more.
Now Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Rodgers to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Go.
2nd and 4. It's complete to Diggs. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Throwing again. Carmichael. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is...
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Back to throw. Carmichael. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Rodgers now on first down. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. On the delay, Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. You got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. 4 down.
2nd and 6. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, Charlie.
Operating from the gun. Carmichael lets it fly for Thielen. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll get 34 yards there. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here, and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Off the play fake. Carmichael. It's caught. Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided and abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Rodgers now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 40 now on second down, Rodgers, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They're going to be stopped up on his first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Equanimeous St. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Carmichael. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a first down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Now Saquon Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Carmichael. And that's caught by Smith. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carmichael. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr. with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On 1st and 10, Carmichael. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Off play action. Carmichael. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr. there to make the grab. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Packers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man is Darius Felton. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
I know you feel that.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
Let's go. Do it.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Complete. Smith has it. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Partner, they're up big. They snapped the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Now a hit and a loose football. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll run it again with Barkley, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
18 Gator. Check, Mike 42. All day, Gator. All day.
Saquon Barkley running right. the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.